Purpose sometimes it could be found anywhere, but the person looking for it must be ready to look for good things.
Mm.
You know, bad things are easy to find. Good things will be sometimes lying within the bad things. You need to be able to spot the right thing. The white amidst the black, the gray amidst the black. You need to be intentional, searching for it and searching for good life, quality life. Somebody may find purpose in doing some other jobs. I don't want to mention them.
Okay.
But how qualitative is that life? So you can choose to have purpose, but you must choose to have quality life. Quality life that will impact you, that will impact your generation. So don't just don't limit yourself to how to make money. Because these days people are like, oh, I just want to blow, I want to make money. I don't think that's the entirety of our purpose. Purpose is also involves service to humanity. How you make other people smile.
Hello, welcome to another episode of DUNUM with Deda. First of all, let me say a big thank you to everyone that supported this project from the inception. And it's been an amazing journey. I've gotten feedbacks from a lot of watchers, listeners that have seen either of the episodes. And also remember, we're also on Spotify, so you could go ahead and check it on Spotify and also listen anywhere you go. So thank you so much. And if this is your first time watching this episode, this podcast, click the subscribe button, like the video, and share with your friends. You never know. You could be helping someone discover, understand, nurture, utilize, maximize their potential. My name is Deda Akinola, and yes, I'm the host of it. I'm the host of this podcast. All right, and I have another guest with me today. Now, this guest is someone that I didn't really plan for. I was like, no, yeah. But when I heard that he was around, I was like, no way, no how. I must interview him. And because of his work over the years, he's one person that has helped a lot of youth do know their potential. Me, for example, I know he doesn't want to, but he has helped me a lot to this point where I am. So he's like a mentor, not even like he's a mentor to me and a big brother to me. So yes, I have a special guest. So it's a special edition. It's a special edition. And I have Femi Faluye with me as my guest. He's a project manager. He's a youth. He has been a youth leader since that should be 30 years, over 30 years now. In various capacity, trust me. Also even in the UK, he's also, so this is not a person that has been trusted in Nigeria to be a youth leader. He has also been entrusted to lead a lot of youths in the UK also. So he comes with a whole lot of experience in terms of helping people DUNUM their potential. Yes, I have Femi Faluye in the building.
Thank you, Deda. Thank you for having me.
Egbo.
Abu.
It's so good to have you. So I'm so excited about this episode. So let's just dive right into it. First of all, you do a lot of things. You wear so many hats, and sometimes it's they say jack of all trade, master of none. But there are different times where you wear different hats and. It comes from a place of discovering each and everything around you. And I guess you're still discovering some things about you. So take us through the process of how you've been able to discover what you're doing, what you're still going to do, and yes, how you've been using them thus far.
Well, thank you. It's a very tough question. Trying to unravel the different aspects of how it all started. I think everyone that is gifted is gifted. And I think the major part of that is how you discover and you nurture it and who you are subject to help you nurture it. And can I just be a bit vulnerable and tell you the truth?
Yes.
I think one of the things I had great reflections over and over, maybe after so many years, was that yes, I was creative, gifted, but I didn't really have um, people who discovered and maybe people to nurture those gifts.
Okay.
Um, Probably maybe I'm making reflections over how younger people these days have been mentored and maybe tailored towards what they should become early in life. Um, I think basically I discovered myself much more in the church setting,
Okay.
where we have mentors mainly about spiritual growth, and it was a bit hard if somebody like me, I could do so many things. I could play football, play volleyball, do drawing, craft, everything. So there were so many things. But when you grow up in the church setting, your mentors are mainly spiritual people who
Mm.
wants to say, "Oh, you got to be spiritual, do this." So I think that tailoring was one-sided, and maybe that also got me into leadership very early in life. And when you are into leadership, especially church leadership, there are so many other things you want to let go because you feel, oh, this is just God. You need to follow God. And so I think that happened to me. Quite a lot of things I didn't develop.
Okay.
They evolved very well about me, and I focus more on church growth. Thankfully, God helped me, and I was able to be in leadership for so many years. I'm still in leadership, and having reflections over time, I just discovered that, oh, if maybe somebody had discovered me also, DUNUM, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe I could have blown.
Mm.
But thankfully, where I have not blown, but I think I've remained in where God actually want me to be, and
Mm.
especially about nurturing other young people. And I think that's just the joy, having for yourself a good reflection and ensuring that other young people do not follow the pathway you did,
Mm-hmm.
because that is very important. I think that's what I'm also working towards, so that young people who are diversely gifted do not just stay in a static position, but they are able to evolve, yeah, godly, morally, ethically, in all aspects, academically, and evolve very well and be better people in life.
Mm.
So let me keep short for now.
Okay. I was still having a discussion with some young people recently. They're in school, and I was asking them, "What do you do aside? Like, are you in a social organization?" Like, no,
Mm,
it's just fellowship and books. And I want to focus on my academics. I want to focus on this. And I see a lot of people. In a way, when I was in school, I was also a church person. And sometimes when I left school, I was a part of me regretted that I didn't do
other things.
other things to develop myself. Now, a lot of people are in that position right now, whereby
Mm,
they just know book and maybe church or maybe mosque or religious. We are in a religious country in Nigeria,
sure.
and we put so much emphasis on build your relationship with God and
Mm.
this. Now, how do you get out of that? Should I say that bubble of just, oh, it's only spiritual and my books that I know? Or are you of the opinion that you don't need to get out of the bubble, just focus on God and your academics and leave other things, and all of
Yeah.
that things shall be added onto it?
Well, it's not a single fix. I'm not bringing a solution as just a single fix, because you've also seen some young pastors who only focused on books and God in school fellowship and later became pastors, like
Mm-hmm.
people we know today. So you wouldn't say such people did not develop other skills. Maybe the only skill they needed to develop was that spiritual skill, and maybe well managed into what they have become today. The other side is, um, just like you said, a lot of young people don't have that mentorship about how to actually channel what they believe in. How would they evolve into utilizing their talents and gifts? You know, I years ago I learned that there's a difference between gift and talent.
Mm.
You make money with your talent, and gift is what is God is giving. You can make it free. So but uh, I also think that individuals will have to decide what they want to do. Um, one of the strongest way to help young people who are in that bubble is to encourage them to speak up, encourage them about the good about networking early in life. And when I say networking, it means you network with people who can help you explain questions you don't have answers to. And that would come on like podcasts like these or programs in schools, programs in church, so that they are not restricted. And I think that networking, that mentorship it's important, especially in these days. And so, like I said, I'm looking at it from those two angles. Some people will actually stick to those godly gifts, mentor it, and become what God wants them to be. And some we discover the gifts in church, but they may not use it in church. That's a bubble. So they might just move away and begin to have other great networks outside who can help them nurture those gifts in the best way possible. And I think for every gift God has given any man is to profit God and profit humanity. And I think that should be at the back end of any decision that will be made about how to use your gifts. So it's important to understand that bubble is a very big bubble. And it also depends. There are so many factors. So let me say, parents who sometimes may restrict you in the bubble. They don't want you to do this. They keep you in the bubble. Family backgrounds, so many things, the environment may keep you in the bubble. So I think if those factors are considered and an individual is ready to make progress, decisive progress in life, I think he or she can do so and get out of the bubble. Bubbles do have ability to burst, so you can have a knife to tear it away and get liberated to do something big. So like I said, it's so many aspects to it, but the individual must make up his mind about what he wants to become and talk to people. Talk to people.
So the challenge there now is making up the mind.
Yeah.
And that is so I have one of my aburos that I mean, you know the person also if he's watching this podcast. So I remember before he got into school, he said he wanted to build the first aeroplane that was invisible. maybe he has watched some James Bond movies. And I was like, and when I heard, I was like, oh, okay, it's okay. For this Nigeria, no problem. But I didn't want to discourage. I was like, yes, that's very good. Say he wants to study electrical electronics. But as Nigeria would have it, he studied physics. He got into physics. He studied physics, in school. And he was a good dancer also. He's a very good dancer. Now he's into finance. And I was looking at the trajectory of how, how everything just switched at every point in time. Yeah. So how do you get to make up your mind? A lot of youth nowadays are into so many things. And the $1 million question is, how do I make up my mind on the path to work on in terms of career?
Yeah. Especially for people who are very gifted. It's a question of how do I, like I said, I think one of the ways I would suggest is, just like I said, in the multitude of counselors, there is safety. You speak to the right people. To discover the right people might also be a problem, yes. The right person to speak with. But I believe in every environment, life has placed some people there to guide, to counsel rightly. I'm not saying there are other people who will be there to counsel you wrongly, but in every environment, there should be a form of identifying something in someone that this person can help me. I can speak with this person to help me, to guide me. I have found that so helpful for me because even while I was growing up, I realized, yes, I was gifted in so many things, and I've spoken with very few people. And you could just hear one or two words from such person and you feel, oh, why have I not spoken to you for a long while? So when you speak with the right person. And like I said, when you make up your mind, one of the ways to make up your mind is actually to have that deep reflection and be quiet. I'm a spiritual person. Some people will pray. I will suggest you pray. You will identify. God knows how to pinpoint instructors to our lives. But if you don't want to, you may just want to live your life. Oh, I don't need experience. I don't need the experience of that. You really need it. And I would always suggest for people who are so gifted and don't know which one to start with us or do, just relax first and spot the right person. Counselors will guide. I've seen that worked for me. Sometimes could be books.
Okay.
If you read books, books are liberating. I remember I read a book. Let me say I don't like reading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a visual person, but I was given a book about 200 pages. And let me say it's been 4 years. I've not finished reading the book because the first 10 pages changed my life in thinking, in helping me to situate where, oh, this is where I am. This is where I should be. So those hidden secrets are not found everywhere in the world. It could be in the books. It could be in the wisdom of men or asking questions. It could be on social media. These days, social media covers a lot and people don't maximize the power of social media. If you are talented in a particular area and you feel, oh, this is a special gift for me, okay, go to YouTube, go to LinkedIn. You'll find out there are good mentors there. I'm not also saying there are not bad mentors or who could groom you wrongly, but social media is also designed for you to be educated, to have great reflection. So there are so many opportunities these days. Like I say, you need to make up your mind and spot it. Where could this opportunity lie? And somebody watching this may say, oh, I think Deda has spoken to me. So there are opportunities everywhere. People should just channel their energy. Data to watch podcasts like this should not be spent on watching Arsenal.
well.
Don't worry. We won yesterday.
Yeah. And we are winning the league.
Okay.
We should win the league.
We should. We hope to.
All right. So now let's dive into another field, or is even similar field as the question of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just gonna lay it out flat. How does one find purpose in life? Because the issue of making up your mind also has to do it. So if I know my purpose, that has a way of directing like the path I should tread. It has a way of, so if I know this is where I'm going to, I know what to do. Even if I don't know what to do, I know what not to do. You know, because that's also a thing. So people say, I don't know what to do. At least you know not what to you know not what to do. So the question of purpose, how does one find purpose?
That's a massive question. Of course, just like I said, there's no single way, or I can't give you a formula that you can find purpose. One of the things I can suggest is that, see, it starts from you sitting back and identifying some things. Example, some people wants to be rich. Of course, everybody wants to be rich. But if they had looked back at maybe the pattern in their family, example, if the father was a very successful bricklayer,
okay,
maybe he has built houses and helped people, he has raised other people as a successful bricklayer, and you are having masters in geography, and you feel, oh, I just want to do education. I just want to do blue collar jobs. Sometimes when you look inward, you find purpose. Maybe generations, like 4 or 5 generations, have been doing that successful work of bricklaying, and you feel, oh, I don't want to do that. If you look inwardly, you can find purpose because there is a pattern that has been successful that you have been building. Get it? I'm not saying everybody will be like that. I'm just giving an example of finding purpose. purpose can be found even by making the good friends. You see, they've always said this, that secondary school is the best place to really find purpose as you are growing, because you have a lot of very diverse minds there. People will give you stories, they want to build this. Very huge ideas are in secondary school. Sometimes somebody may find purpose by streamlining the maybe 2 or 3 friends that have aligned visions. And you discover that in life, 20 years later, all of you are in that field. You are making good money. That is something. You can find purpose. Church, I will not ever say the place of God in everything is good. So church is a wonderful place to find purpose. You see great musicians, maybe the Christian musicians. Everybody's, oh, I started from the church. I was listening to a podcast by Don Jazzy some weeks ago and said he started from the church. So that can be purpose. Purpose can be steered by parents. So there are several ways to discover it. So like, I can't say this is a single way to discover it. You can find purpose, like, when I was younger, I used to, I have an uncle, we used to call him Brother Doctor.
Okay.
And of course, we're going to Brother Doctor's house, of course. And I felt, one day, I want to become a doctor so that people can call me Brother Doctor. And that was it. And I wanted to become a medical doctor. Like, I feel the medical, I wanted to do medicine in school. That one couldn't work. I just said, I will still become a doctor. Then when I got my PhD, I said, oh, yeah, indeed, I'm a Brother Doctor. So purpose sometimes it could be found anywhere, but the person looking for it must be ready to look for good things. Bad things are easy to find. Good things will be sometimes lying within the bad things. You need to be able to spot the right thing. The white amidst the black, the gray amidst the black. You need to be intentional, searching for it and searching for good life, quality life. Somebody may find purpose in doing some other jobs. I don't want to mention them.
Okay.
But how qualitative is that life? So you can choose to have purpose, but you must choose to have quality life. Quality life that will impact you, that will impact your generation. So don't just don't limit yourself to how to make money. Because these days people are like, I just want to blow, I want to make money. I don't think that's the entirety of our purpose. Purpose also involves service to humanity. How you make other people smile, what you do to support them in the times of need, that's purpose. And you are kind. So there are so many ways to it, but I just would advise anyone, take time, reflect, sit down. You can write them down. Do a test for yourself, write those things you are gifted in and share with a counselor, an elderly person to help you to tailor them. And God will bless it because He gives it, so He will bless it.
So I want to link one of the things you said earlier to what you said now. You mentioned about the difference between gifts and talent. And sometimes when you find purpose, some people don't make money from their purpose with either gifts or talent, as the case is. And my question basically is, how do I differentiate? How do I know? Because some people would say that, this is, in the Christian, they call it ministry. Some call it purpose. This is, some say, service to humanity. I think that's a general word that everybody can accept. That this one, I'm not doing it to make money. This is my calling, per se. So how do I differentiate between, this one, I am meant to make money from this, and this other one, I am not meant to make money from this. It's just my service to humanity.
Well, I think it's also an individual question to answer. But I don't think every gift of God is for profit. Profit is not defined by money. Sorry to be spiritual, Bible says God gave His Son. God giving one person to win millions of people. So God was not looking for money. He was just looking for salvation. So when you define purpose and connect it with money making, it's I don't think it's a good way of aligning it. Purpose, as everybody will talk about, is discovering who you are and what you can do. And when you discover it, it must help you and help someone else. Rewards of doing such free services may not come as early rewards, early gains. But when you are consistent in doing something, that's what the now call ministry. You are consistent in doing it and doing it for humanity. You do it for humanity. There would not be, God will not owe you. You will surely get a reward somewhere. And you see, I know that in this age, there's been this issue about, ministry, is it free? When you talk about music, musicians going to church.
There was this argument recently. Was it? Is it Tim Godfrey?
Yeah,
and all that, and it became a big argument.
Should they get paid or should they not get paid?
A typical example, the Hallelujah China, and someone said, if Nathaniel Bassey had monetized, he would have made 1.4 billion.
Yeah.
That's a huge
So
one.
Is that purpose? Is that ministry?
Exactly. That's
so, when you ask Pastor Nat, he will tell you that God did not ask him to monetize it. So that's not part of the vision. That's not part of what is written. Right. So, like I said, it's an individual thing. That's how I started with. You decide what God wants you to do with your life and be sure about it. A lot of people go into that era of trying to make ministry and mix it up with finance, and it is just, there's no clear definition of what they need to do with it. And that's why people run into massive problems. Like I said from the beginning of this podcast, I think we need to sit down with people who have failed before and they don't want you to fail. If you sit down with them, you will quickly align your mindset. You will know where to ask for money and where not to ask for money. See, money is good. Me, I need money.
Mm-hmm.
But when you mix those things together, you need to have balance to it. And so that's why mentorship is key. Leadership is key. And I cannot say less that, because whatever we became now, or we are, or will become, will be as a result of who we followed.
Mm.
So a lot of us need that leadership direction for our lives. And I really mean it, because sometimes these days now, sorry to just say this, some leaders will collect money even to mentor people.
Yes, you apply, then you will not pay.
It's not cheap also. You would tell me that person also has discovered his purpose to monetize that.
He's mentoring.
Gift. and it's giving more money to the it's individual. I will not judge anybody. If that is the way you feel, that is the way you want to steer your life, it's no problem. I have been in situations that have given things or done things freely without taking money, and I don't call it ministry. Our lives is ministry, so you don't have to sectionize something and say this is ministry. All we are here to do is to be kind to everybody. Do good. If you think you need to collect money from someone, collect. You work for it. And you feel you want to make it free, do it free. Don't expect a reward. God, who is a rewarder of all things, will reward. So it's individual decision, but I keep saying it, please, to discover that purpose, sit down, talk to someone, talk to a good person. That's on the line. You will talk to someone with great and good experience. There was a time I had a business and I was struggling. I bought these big generators, and the very first time I was to service it, the mechanic came and got the engine knocked out. A new generator. And since that day, I spent so much money, and I didn't even know what to do. I just called a good friend. I said, this is what I'm going through. He said, Femi, I know who you talk to. I'll give you the number of Baba. That's the name we call Baba. He said, Baba, you need just 1 hour with Baba. Say, okay, give me number. Do you know when I sat with Baba, under 30 minutes, it cleared my doubt. He said, oh, don't worry. You see, he just gave me like a clue that I've never, like, maybe I've known, but I never saw it. Oh, this could be the solution to this issue. And that is on experience. And I didn't pay for it. So when you connect with people who can liberate you, you will feel, oh, why have I been in this bubble for long? So discovering that purpose, you need to make good choices. You may need to stop talking to some people who you think they are not adding to you. Value, if you don't estimate it early in life, you may pay for it. Estimate people with values that may work with you. You don't have to have so many friends. I'm not really a social media person saying I have followers. I want to follow the people that matter. Just one person may matter. And that person will align you to destiny. I think I'm talking too much.
No, it's a podcast. You can't talk too much. All right. So, okay, let's leave that. You've said a lot, and I believe that a lot of people have gotten a lot from what you said, and I'm sure that as they're watching it, they are getting inspired. That I think this is what I should do. All right, let's talk about you. You've spent, I mean, decades as a youth leader, and have helped a lot of people do know their potential, And the question I would just like to ask is, what are the common mistakes that youths make that they shouldn't make in terms of becoming who they want to be? And the second question basically is that what are the challenges? Two different things, the mistakes they make and the challenges that most youths would encounter. And the reason why I'm asking these two different questions is because some are facing challenges presently in terms of these things. I'm sure you might have mentioned maybe one or two things earlier on. And they are already giving up because they don't have that, should I say, they don't have that community to help them understand that, look, everybody has gone before, you also faced this kind of thing, and this is how to overcome them.
Yeah. One of the things that youth will always face, if you are a leader with young people, is that a young mind wants to explore what is in his mind. They always want to explore. And so when you tell, don't do this, they say, let me try it. And that is natural for every young person. They want to try what is in their minds, either good or bad. And I think one of the good reasons why you should have leaders who can listen to you will help you to say, okay, this thing you're about to do, it's not that you should not do it. I will help you. So young people always face that because it's the age. From age 12, 13, they want to wear their own clothes. When we were younger, it's when you're going to anywhere, it's your parents that will clothe you. So you go and wear that jeans and this and that. By the time a child is 12, 13, no, I don't want to wear it. I want to wear this one.
Even before then, my daughter is already picking her clothes.
These AI days. So they want to choose, they want to explore what is in their minds, and it's not a crime to do so. It's their age. But a good parent or leaders anywhere in any place should be able to guide them that, okay, this decision you're about to make, I will support you, but these are the what's it called now? The rewards of doing this. These are the adverse of doing this. Explaining it to them. Young people always like when people explain things to them, and not that you're enforcing a rule on them.
Or just instructing them.
They don't like it. You can't instruct a teenager. You can't. You only guide the teenager. Let them burn their fingers. Sometimes they need to. Time lower. When I was telling you, so they want to explore. That's basic. Now, how do you help them to explore correctly? And I think I mentioned quite a few. They also need someone who is ready to listen. Somebody that will not judge them. Not that you will not scold them, but somebody that will not judge them. somebody that will help them to see the right things to do and make the right steps. So young people face that a lot, of the issue of exploring what is their heart. And the second question you asked is about,
The challenges
is it the challenges to lead them or the challenges they have?
they have.
Well, the challenges are quite many. I don't envy this age where social media is huge. It's influencing decisions of young people. When we were growing up, no social media, we wanted to explore what is in our mind. These days, there is additional part of social media that is adding to what we want to explore. So they have things facing them, left, right, and center, and they want to explore it. And you will see a 13-year-old or 12-year-old girl watching maybe something YouTube reel about to make up and how to do it, and the next thing she's doing is starting to do it in her house, not even outside. So there are so many things influencing them that it's a great challenge. The social media age, as much as good as it is a huge challenge to the next generation. A huge challenge, huge. Quite a lot of them are subject to mental stress these days, because I was talking to some kids back, and I asked him, your face, your eyes look so heavy. I said, I've not slept. I only slept for 2 hours. I said, what were you doing? On phone. And so young people are meant to come to school lively and fresh. They are on phones all over, and parents are saying, oh, we want to give them phones. So those things, those factors are huge. And we really need to see how we can mitigate that aspect. It's a great challenge. And I don't know one particular solution than that parents should be more responsible. More responsible. We can talk about leaders everywhere, but parenting is huge. It's a great task these days, and the challenges will only reduce if parental responsibilities are at least given to you give your best to it. I'm not saying, but you will still give your best to it. It will reduce that challenge.
All right. So you've led youth in Nigeria and overseas. You are leading youth all over the country. So, and I know that there's a common question that people ask, and when people say some things, they'll say, it's because you're in Nigeria. It's because you're in Nigeria. It's because you're in Nigeria. So I want to really ask. I've not jackpot before. I've not jumped out before. But I really want to know, is it the same challenges to face as youth in Nigeria? Is this similar to the challenges that they face over there? Number one. Number two also has to do with what's it called now? So when you have what's it called? I'm trying to get my thoughts together, but let me get back on that.
Well, human beings are the same everywhere. So there's no, human beings are the same. Youth are the same everywhere. Like I said, that age of discovery is quite important. They want to do what they want to do. But I think back home in Nigeria, there is still this level of a community, like that traditional respect.
Okay.
It's still much more pronounced, or maybe well indoctrinated into our culture than there. And now, don't get me wrong, there are completely sound, and I mean sound, I've met sound Christians who believe in respect, traditional, English people who are so traditional, and you see the way they train their kids is there. But I'm just making a comparison compared to what is here in Africa. We still respect people. Like, if I go to any space now, it may be in Nigeria, I'm talking to young people, they will listen. Right there, if I'm talking to some kids, if they don't want to listen, they don't want to listen. They don't even walk out. They don't want to listen. You should respect them. That's so you should respect them. But I think there is this respect much more right here. Even if the person does not want to listen to what you are saying, say this man. Nigeria will still have that bit of tolerating people, but unlike that, some of the kids are not that respectful. They want to do what they want to do, and you just have to be calm. Don't be angry. They will test your patience.
Your patience.
Yeah.
All right, final question. This question just popped in my mind, and I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about. Nigeria has a big problem with youth empowerment, and when we talk about youth empowerment in Nigeria, we see the government do a lot of policies. Even this podcast is under youth empowerment,
Yeah.
in a sense. So, what is the best? What do you think Nigerian government should do to actually empower and equip the youth for what? Because look at education in Nigeria right now. It's we can't even match up with what is going on. If you have to stick to the normal curriculum of Nigerian schools, tertiary institutions, and all, we can't match up with what the rate at which they're being taught over there. So, what do you think where do you think the Nigerian government should do in terms of empowering the youth? And it would hit the nail on the head. There's a lot of policies.
That one, for Nigeria, everything Nigeria you do for yourself. You provide water for yourself, provide electricity for yourself. So how do you expect government to provide solution for youth? I don't know. I think the reality is that, you have frameworks, you have policies, you have all these designs for youth empowerment here and there flying. And I can't imagine if a governor comes up and says he's doing youth empowerment and the best he can offer is to put Okada on the road and say he's youth empowerment, and they will celebrate it. So the definition of youth empowerment is actually about how you can maximize. I think your podcast defines it. How you can define, utilize,
discover, understand, nurture, utilize, and maximize.
That is actually the definition. And if you can make a blueprint and place it to the government's feet and let them do this, I think that's one solution I can offer. And see that it is implemented. A friend of ours came and he was doing a PhD in the UK, and he came to Nigeria to pick up some samples and data or something. And he thought he was doing a novel job, a new thing. And when he got to Federal Secretariat, they brought him stuff about 20 years ago. The same thing he was thinking. And said, these things have been there. So there are so many ideas that pass through the governments, whatever, different governors and whatever, and it's not being implemented. And I think the challenge with the government thing is implementation. And if we need to do something about youth empowerment, I think individual, private industries should evolve again. I don't believe the government can. And I'm not sure if the government can, but I think individual groups, people around can actually start empowering young people, just like the theme of your podcast. And do your best to, you don't have to influence millions. You can start from hundreds and establish them and encourage them to do the right things in society. So government, I don't know.
All right. Thank you so much for coming today on this podcast. I mean, I've learned a lot personally from what you've said, because I'm getting some inspiration here and there. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you on this podcast. Dr. Femi Falu, I forgot to put the doctor.
I don't get doctor.
You don't you have a PhD now, so it's doctor.
Femi
okay, Falu Babo. All right. I hope you've learned a lot from this podcast. The point is, we all get to that level whereby we are utilizing, like I said, DUNUM is a continuous process. You discover, you understand, nurture, utilize, you maximize, then you discover again. And it's a circle, and that's what makes life, worth it at the end of the day. So remember to share this video, click the like button, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let more people hear this. This is our own way of empowering the youth and also equipping them for the task ahead. So till the next episode, peace out.